It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay. Dust off the old LT.
So I told my guy, Peter,
Pete, you are not.
Oh, well, welcome to another rousing edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. We're gonna have some fun today because I'm having fun. Whether you are or not, that's up to you. But I'm having fun sharing what I've done with Me and My Roku over the last week or so. And we got plenty of things going on. I got an update and a channel to recommend, plus an email, and so plenty of things going on here. So I'm going to share with you. Because I've been having fun with Me and My Roku. A couple of things to clear up here. This is about me and My Roku. So it's a me show. I just tell you what I do, and if that sparks something with you in your head and all that stuff, then go with it. But so that maybe helps you to enjoy you and your Roku. I am not endorsed or sponsored or anything from Roku. I don't get anything for doing this unless you want to share something with me, and that's okay if you don't. So now that we got that out of the way, it's been a fun week with Me and My Roku because I was kind of cleaning up around the house a little bit, and I noticed my poor lonely little Roku LT that we had for an older TV years ago because it had the composite outputs, the red, white, and yellow. And it was just sitting there lonely on a shelf, all dusty, and I thought, oh, let's see if this guy still works. So I dusted it off, put it on our TV downstairs, and took a little while to get updated. And once it did, I had to re-authenticate everything all over again. But once we got everything settled, it was a pleasurable experience. It's a little slower than our Roku 3 and Roku Ultra, but it does the job. And it's always good to have a backup Roku because you never know when you're going to need one. So is 3 enough? I don't know. Is there never enough in anything? Is there enough air? Anyway. So plenty to go through here. So let's get started.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. So I got an email from my wife the other day, and she was talking to her coworker, and she had just told her about how she's enjoying the Roku. And so apparently she made such an impression on her coworker. We won't mention her name, so we won't say Maria. We'll say Francine, okay? So she was talking to Francine, and she was talking about how cool the Roku was. So Francine decided to buy one over a weekend, and now has a ton of questions. And they felt that that was something for a guy with a podcast, I guess. So they already have Amazon Prime and Netflix, and she asked if she should cancel those and get them through the Roku. Would it be cheaper through the Roku, or should they keep them? How do the home channels work with the Roku, and what about TLC, HBO, and A&E? Do they have to purchase them? And what is the benefit of the Roku if you have to pay for everything? Well, nothing in life is free, but, however, this is the deal. So this is a good opportunity to kind of refresh all the things I've talked about here and kind of do some of the basics here and then how I do it. And then if that helps, then we can see. So here's with the information that I have there, this is the best I can come up here. So first of all, what is Roku then? Roku is a streaming device. It just needs the internet and a TV to function. That's it. Once you're connected, the world is your oyster as far as streaming goes. Okay, so you mentioned home channels. I'm assuming like HGTV or something like that. TLC and A&E. This is what we talked about a couple of weeks ago about authentication channels. Love them. So if you already have cable TV or some sort of, or satellite even, you just log in to how you go pay your bill and all that stuff, and you can get those channels. They'll come in for you and pop up, and then anything that they've ever done will work for you. HBO, little bit of a tricky thing here. If you have HBO through your provider, there's an app called HBO Go, and then you can log into that, and then you get what's on that app. If you don't, HBO has its own app, and it's called HBO Now, and you get that for 7 days free, and then it's $15 a month. Oh, I'm sorry, it's on sale for $14.99. Love taking that penny off to making it sound like cheaper than it is. And then you get from there, you get pretty much whatever HBO's ever done. Not everything, but a really large amount. You mentioned that you already have Netflix and Amazon Prime. Well, you've 2/3 of the way there of what you need Roku for to begin with. So I typically say one or the other, but I understand people who shop with Amazon Prime, you just get it. So, hooray, kind of think of it as a bonus then. So you just log in and you're set to go with those. Amazon Prime also has a deal where you can also get HBO through there if you want, through the accounts. You just pay through one bill through your Amazon then if you want to do it that way. You may get a little bit of a discount, but I don't think so. So now, is that all the Roku can do? Oh, absolutely not. So there's so much you can do from there then that can rot your brain and distract you from anything going on in life as it is for free. So if you're asking, well, what good is this if you just have to pay for everything? You can pay for a lot of things if you want, but there's so much out there that makes you wonder, well, do I really need any of those things or not? I have successfully have come and gone with Netflix enough times that it's basically I don't even think about it until something severe happens. One of our favorite shows was canceled on a broadcast network and was brought onto Netflix, and so one weekend, boom, we went through 10 episodes, but we had a month of Netflix then. And that's the thing about it, too. You can come and go with these things whenever you want. There's no... And like I mentioned last week, it's a good idea to cancel these things when you're not using them because they may give you deals later on to have you come back and check things out. So many free channels. If you have T-Mobile or anything like that, you can get the MLB TV and you get free baseball. Now, one thing I maybe mentioned years and years ago, but with MLB TV, another thing you can do is get an MLB TV account or MLB.com account and just set up an account. And if you just like baseball every now and then or have something on the background, they give you 1 to 2 games a day. It used to be just one. Now, occasionally they give you 2, especially on getaway days. It's like Wednesdays and Thursdays. There's a day game and a night game that you can do. So that's a recommendation for you. So, as I mentioned before on this show, just look at your first main menu. You got your Netflix, you got your Amazon Prime, you're looking for other things. Now maybe you've just added HBO because you wanted that. Right underneath the home button there on the menu on the left-hand side, right underneath home, is a thing called Featured Free. So right there is enough to rot your brain for a weekend. Just in those channels alone. So if it's not on the Roku channel, it'll tell you the app that it's on and automatically download it for you and be able to watch your free program. So the free apps that I use are the Roku channel, Pluto TV, Crackle, Tubi, Tubi, FilmRise. So all of those are TVs and movies with commercials. Again, some of them better than others. Tubi is at least polite in saying, hello, commercial coming on. So again, the commercials don't always come at the most appropriate times, but they come and go pretty quickly. Now, I don't mention this one at all. Here's one that if you're just getting used to the Roku. YouTube, totally free. Some ads pop up every now and then before the shows, and if you get one of those annoying ones that are like 5 minutes long, there's a skip function after about 15 seconds. So that's available to you. And one that I've recommended a couple weeks ago is PBS. It's the reverse of an authentication channel. So with authentication channels, your TLCs, A&E, HGTV, all those, all the most recent shows are locked and you need authentication then. If you go back a little bit further into the archives, you'll find things that are free and available for you, along with the ones that they tell you are free to stream. PBS is the opposite. The most recent shows are available to you, and then if you want to go back into the archives, then you need to make a donation to your local PBS station, a minimum of $60 for a year. So from that right there, you've got your HBO, You've got your Netflix and your Amazon Prime, and just the other free apps that I listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's plenty more. There's Stir, there's Zumo, there's things coming seemingly every week. There's enough right there, I think, to justify the purchase of a. Does it pay for itself necessarily? No. But if you wanted to cut back on your cable television or altogether and just get internet, I think there's good options for you. I do it. I've almost 10 years free of cable TV and just the internet. So hopefully that answered your question. And I show you how I enjoy me and my Roku. Hopefully you will enjoy you and your Roku, Maria. I mean, Francine.
Yeah. Woo! How you feeling this?
It always warms my heart when someone gets a new Roku and has questions and wants to explore. So I wish Francine all the best on that. And so good luck and congrats on getting a Roku. You take control of your TV. You take control of your world. That's how I kind of feel. Once I was kind of in a lost, lonely world, and I needed a toy, and I got a Roku, and I was able to take control of my television. And from there, I took control of my finances, took control over my employment. It just takes a spark, and from there, it compounds from there. Another thing that warms my heart is archive.org. We thank them and we love them. And when I say we, I mean me. I can't thank them enough for providing the bandwidth for all my podcasts since 2006, 7. It's been a long time. Archive.org, they are the Internet Archive. They are archiving everything that's gone on the Internet. They have the Wayback Machine. They've got concerts. They've got books. They've got movies. They've got TV. They've got podcasts. What do you know? So check them out today, archive.org. And we thank them and we love them so much for providing the bandwidth and not asking a single thing other than just spread the love a little bit. And I like to spread it out a lot. Thank you. And check out today, archive.org. Okay, just a couple things here just to share with you before I check out to get back to my Roku. Pluto TV is changing every time, just about seemingly, and making me want to waste my time with it and all that stuff. It's becoming enjoyable. Now has added a couple of BBC channels. They were supposed to be adding a channel that'll have random BBC shows, either from the past or present or something along those. Those haven't showed up yet, but 2 pop-up channels showed up on Pluto. One with 200 episodes of Doctor Who Classic, the old school, before the 2005 revival. The ones you used to see on PBS on the weekends. And 300 episodes of the UK version of Antiques Roadshow. What a treat that is. It's kind of, well, it's like what Antiques Roadshow in the U.S. looks like now, but so they're just outdoors and they're showing all these different things, and it's just nice to see a different perspective of it. And then you got to kind of do a currency converter this to kind of know what things actually cost over there. And then one app I want to talk, and I can't believe I haven't talked about it yet, but if you've got digital movies, so if you've purchased something from Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, Vudu, along those lines, there can be all in one app for you, and Movies Anywhere. And so that's a free app to get. And then you just link all the purchases you've made with any of those other providers, and your movies will show up all in one spot. Then are also shared with those other apps as well. So if you purchased, let's say Star Wars on Google Play, it'll then also show up in your Amazon Prime. It's nice to have everything in one spot on the Movies Anywhere, but the advantage of having it on the other apps I noticed is when I purchased The Last Jedi on Google Play, and then it showed up on Amazon, the Amazon version then had the special features and the documentaries and the deleted scenes and all that stuff. So I don't know about iTunes because I don't have an Apple TV. So, but I've had credits, and so I can purchase something on iTunes, even though I don't have an Apple TV. It then shows up on my Movies Anywhere. I don't do anything with Vudu unless I get a free code every now and then it shows up everywhere. Or anywhere, I should say, because it's Movies anywhere. So that's a little tip for you. If you've purchased a lot of things or digital downloads from your DVDs, those can all show up on there as well through Movies Anywhere. Check that out. All right. That's all I got for you this week. I really appreciate it. Also appreciate and thank archive.org for their support. You can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, and YouTube. Yes, YouTube is available now. So that's just leaving iHeart Media. Clock's ticking here, buddy. Everyone else is kind of on board here, so you need to get going here. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. And if you have questions or comments, you can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Enjoy your Roku as much as I enjoy me and my Roku. And I'll check back with you real soon.